Okay, everyone. Hello there. It's Declan here from C&D Consulting, and we are here today with Alexandra, who has many, many different strings to her bow. She lives in Killarney and is an expert on all things digital marketing. And for our group, the C&D Academy, we asked Alexandra during this time that everyone is at home because of the COVID-19 virus, the coronavirus. We're all working from home and we're all using the opportunity to learn more and more together. So we are picking certain experts from our group to teach the rest of the gang some of the skills they've learned over the years. And Alexandra has really been using her expertise in digital marketing to help other companies to really thrive. So today we're just going to record a short video, and we picked the topic of how to do a really good Insta story. So she's got everything ready to go. Alexandra, thanks so much. Before you get into it, thanks so much for doing this for us today. Tell us a little bit more about yourself. Tell the people watching this video a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Alexandra. Thank you so much, Declan, for the opportunity. Super excited to share my insights and my expertise for digital marketing. I started my company called The Digital Ripple in December of last year, and it's a digital marketing company that also serves a huge ripple effect. So with every client that we are supporting, we are also building an inland coral restoration education center in Mauritius. And this is a connection that we've made because we really do love the coral, we love the environment, and we wanted to give back. So through our ripple effect of helping our clients go digitally online, we're also helping a global environmental aspect of building and replanting the coral. So it's been very exciting on that journey. And
yeah, well done. And you literally live this laptop lifestyle that we hear a lot about. Yeah,
definitely.
Great.
Yeah.
So you have multiple businesses as well. You have very well known guest house in Killarney.
Yes. So I am running the Sleeve Blue Manor B&B together with Jonathan, and Jonathan and I, with myself, we were running this eco-friendly B&B last year. We've implemented a load of different environmental initiatives, from just, we hang our towels, our duvets are made of 120 plastic bottles, yet they feel so luxury and soft. So we've implemented a bunch of aspects because being nestled in Killarney near the national park, it's so important to have respect to that and incorporate that into our philosophy here for our guests as well. So it's been a pleasure to host you, Declan, and I can't wait to host everybody else as well. So everyone is welcome, as always. And so that's one of the aspects too, that we are running this business here too.
Good. So today, thank you very, very much for that. So today's topic is primarily we're going to talk about Insta stories. Like, what kind of an impact do you think this can have for a business? And, I think sometimes people can say, oh, I need to have this and I need to have that. Like, we're not saying that everyone has to have an Instagram story, but for those of you who like this platform, this is probably the best way to get the most out of it. What are your experiences, Alexandra, with this having a positive impact on people's businesses, small business owners?
It's huge. It's absolutely huge. So the fact that there's over 500 million users on Instagram alone, being on social media and sharing your insights and your service and your business on Instagram and through story highlights, it's a platform that you can then reach new potential customers, but also you can create this one with your existing ones too, and you can create this community and connection with those who are on the platform with you already. So I have here right now, you can see on the screen, is the official Killarney app Instagram page. And with that, it's a tourism app that we built for the town. You can see already that the official Killarney app colors is green and white. And already you can tell this is the branding. And so with every business, you're going to have your own branding, you're going to have your own logo, your own style. And it's really great to portray that on your Instagram profile straight away.
Yes. So for a total like technophobe, all they would need right now is, let's say they would go into Instagram, create an Instagram page. So yours is for an app, but it doesn't mean you have to have an app. For example, if we could have a C&D Consulting Instagram page, I already have my own. Declan J. O'Donoghue, Krista has hers, and we have this. This is actually what you're given. This is the screen you're given. There's the K as your own logo. That would be like my picture with my mentor Bob Proctor, for example. And then this is my profile. So this is what the general public sees. So you're going to tell us today then all the different aspects of what we should have on a really good Instagram story. Cool.
So on your profile, you'll see already you have the option to have a little bio at the top here. And that's, again, just a snippet to catch the user's attention. What are you about? What are you offering? You then can share Right next below, you can have your links. Either there's a promotion, maybe there's a contact information. That would be next. You then have your story highlights. And this is a really exciting part because this can stay on your page for days and weeks, and it can be there as long as you choose. So for example, when with us with being a tourism app, we were able to say, okay, we want to show people how to get around Killarney. So we would do the headline, and we would make the headline. You can edit it by just tapping and change the title of it. You can change the edit cover, and I can show you later on how to make a story cover a little bit later. Cool. And then once you are making a video, you'll be able to share it into that highlight, and I'll show you that too. Excellent. So for example, with adding as many highlights as you wish, you can really have, there's no limit yet, to be honest, that I've seen of story highlights, but it's a great opportunity to really be specific per your service. So if you're providing a product, if you want to have Q&As, this is where you can make a little Q&A title, hashtag Q&A title, or you can say this is the product I'm offering. Or for example, we would do events, so there's different events around Killarney, or also just when a traveler is going out or anyone who's going out in Killarney, they can tag us and they can share all the beautiful things that they're seeing in Killarney. And then what we can do is we can reshare that on our stories. That's so it's very exciting. But what's so great for the business and for you is that you get to see the insights. So down below on the bottom, you can see this video had 216 views. Okay. So it's great to see those insights and see who's engaging with your stories.
Really cool. Now, would that have been, let's say I uploaded that lovely person's, let's say there was a panorama there of the Lake of Killarney. So had I uploaded that, that's showing you that 216 people saw that on someone else's story and they put it on the app. Is that right? On the Killarney App Store?
This is 216 individuals have opened that story, that picture that I put up, or that video that I put up.
You put up. Okay.
So it's all up to yourself giving the content available, and that's where you get those insights. So another great thing to do is you can actually ask questions. You can use the tools that I'll show you here. So for example, to actually start and making your own posts and going and make your own story, you're going to click the house at the bottom. That's where you have the explore. You're going to see at the top everyone else's story highlights that these are your followers that you are already following. There's a little camera on the left. And that little camera is going to open up the opportunity to now make your own story. So here we are where you have the bottom, you can click going live. This tool is so engaging, and it really is an opportunity. Right now I see I have 57 people who are active right now on Instagram, and I can go live directly and say, hey, this is what I'm talking about, this is what I'm doing today. And it's such a great opportunity to really engage directly, and you can ask questions, you can get more engagement, and you can provide so much value for your audience that are there.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah. So I'll continue through. There's so many different ones. Maybe you don't feel so comfortable with going on video yet, and you just want to type and share some content or share some insight. You can just text your comments, and then you have the option, of course, to just take a picture and then go on from there. So once you have your picture, here we are having our live and sharing how to make an Instagram story. You've taken your picture, you can start tapping it to make some content onto it. Okay. So I'm going to want to say, add some hashtags and just share that I am doing Instagram stories. And the beautiful thing with Instagram is that you can actually take a bunch of stories, and these hashtags are so important because other people are going to be searching for them. And so they're going to be in the algorithm. But sometimes you want to sort of hide the hashtags, and a little sneaky way of doing that is, say you make 5 hashtags.
All right. Now this is actually something I've never done. Personally, I've never done this and hidden the hashtag. I always have big writing saying what I'm doing today or whatever, and I see what you're doing now. That's clever.
Yeah. So the goal is to make as many hashtags as you wish that's relevant to the content. So let's just, for example, I made 3. And I don't want anyone to see them, so I'm going to actually go in and grab one of the GIFs. and I'm going to pick the heart. You can then
Sweet.
cover it and it's gone. But the Instagram algorithm knows that there is these hashtags there. And so it's going to be sharing those hashtags with the community that's online.
Oh, that's very, very good.
So it's so handy to use that. Another great tool to use, really, I recommend using all these tools, because when Instagram sees that you're benefiting these tools, they're more likely to be pushing your profile onto social media and onto other explore channels of people's pages.
Got you.
So it's so great to use the location of where you are. It's so great to use hashtags, just using this big one, and then that's a global one that you can see, that everyone can see online. And then if you tap that, let's say it's Discover Ireland.
Gotcha.
Another great thing to use is questions, really getting people engaged and asking them a question and getting them to respond, because this way it just shows that you're asking this question, you're getting your customers engaged, you're getting to share content with them. So there's so many tools on there that I really highly recommend. Is there a tool that you specifically want me to show you about?
Yeah, I would love, I mean, when you ask a question, it can be anything. So I've seen where people will post the question and get the answer. So if I wanted to say, for example, what's your best tip that you can give people to take up running, or your best piano lesson tip, or let's say anything, like just how can you pose an actual question?
Okay, so maybe you take a photo of yourself and because you want it to be engaging. So you're here asking your question, and you're gonna tap the question. You're gonna input your question. So
okay,
share your best fitness tip.
Nice.
And then that's where you can leave it. You can add your hashtags. Then once it goes live, those individuals have a chance to type into your page.
Gotcha.
So,
and then where are you going to see those answers, Alexandra, when everyone...
I'll show you right now. So at the bottom, you have the option to put it onto your story, and then it goes back here. So you'll see your circle has lit up. There's a red circle.
Yeah.
When you tap that, I'll see now that it's up there live. If you see down below, I've seen it's on Facebook and it's on a highlight. The highlight hasn't actually been tapped yet. So now I can actually add a highlight. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I can add to a highlight. I'm going to pick FYI, just a random question. That's one of my highlights. So it's so great that you can pick whatever content you're putting up there. You can choose the highlight that you want to put it into.
Okay. Oh yeah, so you're in the Killarney app. I was looking at your page. Hang on, it's the Killarney app I need to...
Yeah, the Killarney app is where it's at.
Gotcha. All right, so I'm going to answer I'm going to go to your story now and answer that question.
Fabulous.
So I've answered hydrate. So
hydrate,
for example,
perfect. So now I'm going to go back to that story. And I have to scroll through here. You can actually swipe up.
Oh, yeah.
When you swipe up, it gives you the insight. So once you're there, you scroll over to the last recent one. And now I can see my responses. I can see I've had one view. I can see Declan has said hydrate. I have an option to then share this response. I can send a message directly to this individual, or I can choose to delete it depending on.
Okay. So one of our, a lady called Martha, I interviewed her the other day she's a best-selling author, and I noticed yesterday in her stories she asked a question, and then all of the following aspects of her feed were her answers. So she shared. So what she would have done is strategically kind of waited for later in the day till she had a whole bunch.
Yes.
And she didn't add to her story until it was because I think I see that people appear to be, quite organized in the way that their stories are represented. It's not all over the place. It follows an actual story. Like each page is
absolutely.
Okay. So
absolutely.
you got to be thinking about how you want it to look maybe after a few hours. Is that right?
Yes, it's really important to think ahead, especially when it comes to a question like this that you do want to share a global response. Now, it depends. Maybe you just want it to be instant. Maybe it's just a poll that's
Yeah.
asking a quick response that you can share right away. With a question and you want to share a bunch of responses, you can wait. So with that being said, when you have all the responses, they're going to be displayed here.
Yes.
You can then take a screenshot. So you can screenshot the responses and then save them for later to repost in your stories.
Okay, amazing. And then, so you can carry on putting other parts of your story up and then later on revisit the Q&A session.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's really good. Alexandra, I know there's people that can manage accounts and all different things, and I'm sure this is perhaps something you do for your clients as well, but how much time does one give to putting together a really good story and is it done daily or is it every second day, or what's your advice?
It depends on the content. Consistency is always key with social media. It's really recommended that you should be posting at least once a day, if not 3 times a week. This is the recommended time. So posting, and with going on your stories, maybe you choose every Tuesday you're going to go live, or you're going to share an engaging video. With your video, it can be as simple as going in and just talking about what you're doing today. What is the activity I'm going to be doing today? Hey, today I'm going to be doing a live and sharing my digital marketing skills with my fabulous community here online. So it can be as simple as that, or maybe you're going out on an adventure and going on, and it can be a short snippet. Maybe it's your meal that you had that day. Maybe it's the product that you're using that you want to really say, I love using this water bottle. Is something that I really believe in because it's environmentally friendly. So it's up to yourself, but
Yeah.
you can go as short as honestly just 1 minute to give an engaging conversation with somebody, or you can spend longer, but it's up to yourself. I think in the beginning, to get the momentum, it's really great to start with picking what type of content you want to share in your highlights. So really diving into what is your service that you're providing, what is your business that you're providing, and then you can say, okay, I need content for adventures, I need content for a welcome. If I go to my personal page, I'll show you that I have, my branding is blue for Digital Ripple, and I've talked about health, I've talked about mindset, I've talked about Mauritius, I have an explore page. So these are things that are relevant to me.
Mm-hmm. And was it very easy to put that type of branding on there?
Yeah, and I can show you how I did that too.
Great.
So
really,
I
really
use a free program, and this is called Canva.
Oh yeah.
So in Canva, you log in. Can you see it, Declan? On
Yes,
your
we
side?
can see it. Yeah, it's been shared
Perfect.
perfectly.
So you can design really anything. So it's not just for Instagram stories, it's really for anything else, even an Instagram post. So going into it, you'll type Instagram highlights, but that pops up. And then you're on this template that they provide you with, a vertical template, and they provide you with examples of how to make your Instagram highlight.
Awesome.
You then have an idea what your colors may be. Maybe you want a simple just logo. Maybe you want to have just a word that says fact.
Gotcha. And of course, each highlight can have its own color. You like to have blue for all of the Digital Ripple?
Yes, so I chose to, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So you have the same color, but with a different title of the story. So it's your brand. Okay, well, you can also have, we'll say your main page has a brand color, but then if the fitness one could be the black and gold and the music one could be different if you choose to.
If you choose to, exactly. And then unfortunately my side has just frozen. And then you can have the option of changing your colors. So whatever your branding of your color is, there's the feature to edit it.
Okay. Really good. Yeah, I think because I've just been hearing the odd little bit about freezing and stuff. At least people can still hear our voices and we can continue going ahead. But perhaps if you don't share Canva again and go back to your own page you had, that might work for us. Or stop sharing altogether for a moment and then we can revisit the sharing option. So Alexandra, just want to ask you a question. I've noticed, like, I've put up some really good stories that I've been really happy with, and they got lots of interactions. And then, of course, they're gone after, is it 12 hours?
Yes, they would be gone. The stories, 12 to 24 hours, they would go.
They would go from the Instagram feed, but the highlights remain always.
The highlights would remain. So if you wanted to keep them for a longer period of time, for weeks on end, that's where you should be putting them, because it really allows anyone, a new potential client, customer, who then can come onto your Instagram page, and then they can see those story highlights and they can join in and see what you're providing right away.
Awesome. That's really good for me now, because I've kind of stopped posting on my story, because it was not annoying me, but I would post stuff and it takes time. I don't want to be on my phone too much. I would
Yeah.
do it all, and then it's up for a day and it's gone. And of course, everyone has this dandelion mind now. We see a little bit and puff, it's all gone. So this, I from now on, I'm just going to have like my life, music, consulting or whatever, and I'm doing it through the highlights from now on. And that way it
That's
also
perfect.
goes, so it also goes onto the public domain, the public story, and then it goes into your own highlight and remains there always, correct?
Yes, it would. Correct. Absolutely.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Really good.
And
Thank you for that.
if you need any help with creating your story highlights and helping with the branding or helping with the outlook of how it looks, I'd be more than happy to share my insights and give you some tips as well. So do reach out to me if need be.
That's cool. Yeah, no, that's really, really good. I mean, it's clear to see, you know, what you're doing very, very well. So let me just ask you a couple of other things. I'm trying to think. Yes. So right now we're still a bit frozen on the screen, so we can't see it, but I know everybody can hear what we're saying still. But so underneath, it looks like there's a place as well for images that are more permanent. And I've seen some of my colleagues, when you scroll through their main pictures, shall we say, on their profile, they would have, it's done very beautifully. So they would have, like, you know, maybe something that's a quote, a picture, a quote, a picture, a quote, you know. So when you scroll
Mm-hmm.
down, it looks quite pretty.
Yes.
What are the difference between those? I know those pictures are ones that you add when you press, I think, on the plus sign. So why is that feature even there? Like, why are these pictures here, and then there's also the place for stories? What do you know the difference
So
with
the
that?
ability to have your posts and share content, these Instagram posts are, it's your platform to really provide your audience what you are sharing and what you are doing. So when you choose to make a post, you have the option to make a picture. So when you are tapping the plus sign, you can show a photo of yourself, you can show a photo of the product you're providing, the service you're providing. Some people like to do the quotes, and they're sharing quotes about inspirational mindset, fitness tips, etc. So these posts are so fundamental as well, because it's where you can really give a more snippet and engaging conversation. It's an open discussion that you have an opportunity to talk a bit about what is the image that you're sharing, and then you can put a caption, and then you can really ask those open-ended questions that really get your audience engaged, and maybe they're tagging other people, they're sharing it with others. So it's a great opportunity to use the Instagram stories and Instagram posts as a whole. It's your free sort of visual business
Yeah.
platform. You can see it as, this is the place to share what you are providing and connecting with your audience. So it's so fundamental to use those posts as
Yeah.
well, and to post 3 times a week at least.
Really good, really good. They integrate also with Facebook. Can it integrate with your regular profile, or does it have to be onto a business page or a particular page?
So you can choose what Facebook page that it will be sending to. You can also choose to share it with your Twitter account. You can, whatever you share there, it can be sent automatically over to that as well. So it's great to have that seamless connection.
Mm-hmm.
I do recommend being careful that with Facebook, Facebook doesn't really, the algorithm doesn't favor all the hashtags. So it's best, if you're doing a post that's in Instagram, to actually put the hashtags in the comments below. This way, those hashtags won't go over to Facebook, and then it won't be confused, because it just sees too many hashtags, and that's not favorable for Facebook itself.
Okay, so it'll probably put it in the story, but it won't get you too much traction or
Yes.
yeah. Gotcha. Really, really good. That's really good stuff. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I can ask? I'm thinking of the questions. We're going to stream live in our group so people could ask some questions along the way, but that's, there's the bandwidth is quite low at the moment. So we're really grateful for what we got to do. Is there any other points that you can think we can add? I know that you can put links, as I said, in your link. There, like, but we're really there's so much more you could probably tell us about Instagram, but we did say it was specifically about the stories today.
Yeah, I guess I just tap back into stories itself. I'm sorry the screen is frozen and I cannot continue visually showing you, but sharing it. I'll just explain a little bit more in terms of your stories and going live or sharing anything on the content wise. Really utilize the options. So when you are about to post and you pick something to share, you should then go into really taking advantage of that little smiley face that's up there that says location, mention, hashtag. You can add a poll, add a countdown. So say if you're about to launch a product or there's an exciting event coming on, I really highly recommend using these options, because using these things, these tools that are there, it's just going to build a more engagement with your audience. There's also a gift called quiz. So maybe you want to give some insight and see how, like, test out in a lighthearted way. Share with your audience, okay, when do they know the Sleep Blue Manor was built? And, or do they know that it's eco-friendly and certain things like that, that you can get them being engaged with these quizzes, or as simple as the fun emoji that sort of slides to the left. But there's so many tools on here to use that are available for you that I would highly, highly recommend checking out.
No, that's fantastic. I definitely don't utilize them enough myself. I do a little bit of writing, the odd little bit of a funny GIF, but yeah, put them on everyone is good. So it's about really dedicating time to the story every day and allocating that time and getting the content and using it, perhaps dedicating 15 or 20 minutes to get the post, get the story up there, but via your highlights would be something you'd recommend versus just.
Yes. Yeah. So really think it as you want your audience to see the story highlight later on. So if you know, of course, everything you're going to be sharing, you want it to be valuable, but also say there's something that you really want to share with ongoing customers, ongoing audience who are going to come to your page, that once you can share it to your highlights, it's going to be there until you choose to delete it. And it's really a great way to leave a lasting impression as well for your new potential customers and for your existing ones too.
Excellent.
So, go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, can you also just put it in your story and then click on, let's say if I 10 images on my story, and I put them straight to my story, can I click on each individual image and put save to highlight?
Yes. So
right.
Say you start recording and you are recording it on your camera, and then you click to share to your stories. You'll see a little heart at the bottom. Once it has been posted, you'll see a little heart that you'll hold. And then once you tap that, it's going to give you an option to add a new highlight. So it'll add it to the highlights that you've created.
Excellent. Oh, that's really, really good. That's good to know. So it's after that, then it's just a matter of getting, trial and error. And this is something that people get very good at very quickly, I'd imagine. I remember when I first went on Insta Stories, it was a colleague of mine in Manchester who is very good on Instagram. And I heard her and another friend of mine just say those words. It's just so easy when you get into it. And how many times do we hear that? So that was purely my motivation. If they kept saying it was so easy, and then started accidentally finding that part where you scroll up and you find all the GIFs and the all the people's reactions and the little cartoons, the little animations. And I was like, it is easy. You drag it here and you can make it bigger or smaller. And
absolutely,
it's a lot of fun.
It is, and it's a platform to have fun with and play with, and it's another genuine way to just connect with your audience and share what you're doing. And it could be something as simple as maybe you're just going out for a walk and you just decide to just talk to your audience and say, hey, I'm just doing something that you're relating with them. And there doesn't have to be graphics and things sliding across the screen, but it's a genuine connection that you are sharing with your audience. And I think those things, it goes a long way with your following and with new potential following as well.
Really good. And I suppose my last question then, with regards to Instagram, if you want to build an audience, Alexandra, and this is for all the guys here in our Thinking Into Results community, C&D Consulting, what would you recommend to those guys who have businesses and who want to leverage that? I know that it's possible to like go on these websites and purchase followers and this kind of stuff. I mean, it's obviously a waste of time. It looks impressive, but you got 10,000, 20,000 followers. And I know it gives you other little advantageous positions in the views of Instagram, for example. But what's the best, like, I mean, I know that's something you guys have not done. You just built it through your own proper way of doing it. What are some of the ways you would recommend for people to get more followers and expand their audience and have more people looking at their business or looking at their blog or whatever it may be?
Great question. I think it's because businesses have the opportunity to use Instagram as really this platform that can reach millions. Now, the growth is not as quick as it once was before because there's so many other businesses doing this. But the ability to do it authentically, it takes time. And I don't recommend going and purchasing followers because those followers are not going to be the ones who are long standing and who are going to be staying with you. You're going to be able to make followers genuinely by giving them value, by sharing in your stories and sharing as a post, providing value that they want to then follow you. Great strategy that we recommend is when you are actually going into the explore page on your Instagram. And when you're on the explore page, you can actually go to so this is a little magnifying glass at the bottom, pardon me.
Yeah.
And you'll go type in the search button and you can type in a hashtag. So when you type in a hashtag, maybe it's travel, and you'll see those are the top travel pictures. On those travel pictures, you'll want to actually put an engaging comment and say something that's really genuine about their picture and their experience, and maybe even ask a question that they will then respond, and they'll have also, it will create a desire and an interest to go and to check out who you are, that you've made this genuine connection and comment on their post, because they take time and effort just as much as you do. So taking the time to really explore the Instagram pages of other people and making some genuine comments that are authentic and really reading their captions and seeing what they are working on, and then providing a thought-provoking question.
That's really good. That's very good. I didn't realize that's how it works. And that's really, really cool. So Alexandra, we could be here all day. You've given up so much of your time already, and it's been amazing. I know you are an expert in this field, and guys are going to get an awful lot of benefit from it. And we are recording this so we can share it, and you can share it wherever you want as well to show your public also. And we made it work regardless of any kind of pauses with the technology. But look, it doesn't matter, because I think it really shows that you know what you're talking about. You didn't need to have to show me the visual. Everyone's going to be able to follow along with what exactly you said. And thanks very much. You know what I love about sharing your time like this is there's someone in our community who will have learned something today that they'll, let's say for example, like Breed with her business in Mayo, or Susan here in Kerry, or Kevin with the soap business in England, or they will be able to reach more people because of the time you've given us today. And who knows where those people will benefit from those products. It's that ripple effect, which is what your company is all about.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's really, really good. And I just want to say thanks very, very much from all of our clients, all of our team that are grateful for you for giving up your time today as well. Okay.
It's my absolute pleasure. So thank you so much as well for inviting me to share. And once again, I'm here if anyone has any other questions that they want to learn more about their social media, and if I can help you dive deeper into it, it'd be my pleasure to help you as well. So
beautiful. Well, thanks very, very much, and we will see you soon.
Absolutely. Bye now.
Bye-bye.